Imagine you are thousands of meters above the ground, standing at the edge of an open plane door. With a deep breath, you jump. So, what exactly is happening during a skydive? How do forces like weight and air resistance affect the skydiver's motion? And how can we interpret the velocity time graph? In this video, we will break down the physics of skydiving step by step, using Newton's second law of motion and the concept of terminal velocity. By the end, you'll see how the forces acting on the skydiver shape their entire descent, from the moment they jump to their safe landing on the ground. Let's get started. Here is a velocity time graph of a skydiver as he falls through the sky before and after he opens his parachute. We will be using this graph throughout the video to explain his fall. Throughout the video, W is the weight of the skydiver, M is the mass of the skydiver, F is the air resistance, A is the acceleration or deceleration, and F net is the resultant force. The skydiver jumps off the plane. At first, his velocity is low and air resistance is minimal. The only force acting on him is his weight, pulling him downwards. According to Newton's second law, since there is a resultant force acting downwards, he undergoes constant acceleration. This is represented by the steep upward slope from A to B on the velocity time graph. As the skydiver falls, his velocity increases. This causes air resistance to increase as well. Since his mass remains the same, the resultant force acting downwards decreases. Even though he is still speeding up, the rate of acceleration decreases. We say that he undergoes decreasing acceleration. This gradual reduction in acceleration is shown by the curve from B to C on the graph. At point C, air resistance becomes equal to the skydiver's weight. With no resultant force acting on him, his acceleration drops to zero. Although he is no longer accelerating, he is still falling, just at a constant velocity. This velocity is called terminal velocity. At D, he pulls the cord and deploys his parachute. Between E and F, the parachute dramatically increases his surface area, causing a sudden surge in air resistance. Now, air resistance is greater than his weight, resulting in an upward net force. Since his mass remains constant, Newton's second law tells us that this results in deceleration. As his velocity decreases, air resistance gradually decreases too. Between G and H, air resistance once again balances his weight. With no resultant force, his acceleration becomes zero, and he reaches a new, lower terminal velocity, this time with the parachute open. He continues to descend at this constant velocity until he finally lands safely on the ground at H.